Good morning. Let us study about reading comprehension. Reading comprehension is very important question in the UPSC GAT English examination. And almost every year there will be questions on comprehension passages in the GAT English examination. Usually they give 3 passages and they ask the questions on those passages. Reading comprehension passages are given to test your knowledge of vocabulary, accuracy, flow of thoughts in deriving the inferences, logical understanding of ideas, and your skill of connecting the split ideas, which are expressed in the reading comprehension. You have to have very good vocabulary in order to do well in the case of reading comprehension. Now, let us discuss about some of the strategies which you can follow in order to score well in the case of this particular question. Let us understand the importance of this comprehension test. Comprehension is an important test in most competitive examinations. And most of the competitive examinations, you'll find the questions on reading comprehension. Some of them have separate sections for comprehension where candidates have to work on several passages. And in the case of UPSC GAT examination, you will come across at least 3 passages. Hence, it is important that due attention is paid to comprehension exercises. And remember, your score is very important because it has got good weightage. And at least there will be 12 questions on comprehension passages. So 9 to 12 questions you'll find. So it will carry nearly 36 marks. So therefore, it is very important. Let us understand what does comprehension mean. Comprehension means understanding. The word comprehend means to understand. You are required to go through a passage. In the case of comprehension passage, what you are expected to do? First, read the passage, grasp its gist, and then answer the questions based on it. It involves the use of your vocabulary, your sense of language, your ability to locate meanings, your intelligence to assess the real spirit of the passage, and your capability to infer conclusions from the given content. You should remember that your answers must be based on and confirmed by the information given in the passage and not by any outside source. So your knowledge or your information is not very important. What information is provided in the passage, that is what is very important. Only in certain cases, the inference may take you outside the boundary of the passage. But even then, your answer must be a logical consequence of the information in the passage. So you have to depend upon the information that is provided in the passage. You shouldn't add any additional information. Okay, one can understand the inference. You have to infer. You have to logically think even when you are going for interpretation or inference. This question is a very important question. And remember, it is not so easy. Many candidates lose their marks in this particular section. So therefore, you have to have some strategies. So let's go for the tricks by which you can score well in this particular section of comprehension passage. It is advisable to improve your sense of language and stock of words by reading regularly. So you should have very good vocabulary and bringing new words in your day-to-day usage of language. So if you are familiar with good number of words, then definitely you'll be able to do well in this particular section. Though regular practice helps while adopting the IEI formula. So what is that IEI formula? Information, elimination, inference formula. The following tips may prove useful. So let's see this tip which is given here, and let's see the first formula, that's IEI formula. What is that? And I stands for information, E stands for elimination, and last I stands for inference. So information, what is direct, what is implied, that's what you find out. And what information that should be eliminated, you eliminate that. And then inference, simple, and sometimes the inference will be complex. So be ready for all that. So information, collect the information, direct one, implied one. Then elimination, you eliminate that. The moment you read, because when you read the questions, you will understand what to eliminate. And then you'll be able to focus only on what information is relevant and what inference you can derive from that information. The first one is information. You may find direct information or implied information. So every passage offers you some information. Some questions are straightforward and they can be answered from the information within the passage itself. If they are straightforward, direct information that you will be able to find in the passage, then it's a very easy question. Now you refer to the questions 3 and 5 in the passage which is given as an example. These questions can be answered on the basis of the information given in the passage. Now the information that you find in the passage may be either direct or implied. If it's a direct, it's very easy, simple. But if it's implied, you have to think over it and find out with logic. For example, question 5 is based on direct information, whereas question 3 is based on implied information. Now let's take up the second one, that's elimination. Remember those alternatives which are given to you which have got no relevance or which has got no importance, then those have to be eliminated. The process of elimination of those alternatives which have no relevance to the context. When you read the passage, you'll come to know what is relevant to that as far as that context is concerned. Understand that, and on the basis of that, you have to eliminate those alternatives. Saying no to those options on justifiable grounds until you have positive answer. You say no to that, the options which you find that they are not justifiable. Then you'll be able to eliminate those which are wrong ones. The third one is inference. In the case of inference, you have to infer, you have to arrive at a logical conclusion. That means you have to comprehend and then logically think over it, what may be the right answer. So some questions which cannot be answered by information or elimination require the process of inference, and many of the questions you will find that you require to think logically and infer. So therefore inference is very important. This IR formula helps every candidate. But we can have one more strategy. However, those who have sharp memory and can return certain facts on the first reading may work a little differently to save further time. Instead of reading the passage first, you read the questions and try to retain some of them in your memory. Remember, most of you will spend more time on answering these questions only. So therefore, saving time is very important. Then while reading the passage, you will be able to underline the answers. So when you are reading first you read the question, and when you are reading the passage, underline the answers and later take the correct choice in a flash. Well, let's see what you have to do. Step 1, read the question. First of all, you have to read the question. Then return true, false, short, straight and data based questions. So if you find out those short type, straight type, then it becomes easier. You sort out them. Underline answers for questions, retain. Then step 4. So first of all, you find out where the direct answers you have to find out. Information based. Then it will become easier for you. You underline the answers. Where straightway you find the answers. Then solve other questions by IEI formula. So wherever you can find direct answers, you need not worry about all that. But wherever you don't find, then you eliminate. So you follow that formula. So you'll be able to save a lot of time. So first we'll take up IEI formula. Information, elimination, inference, formula. So first you read the passage. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. The general recognition of this fact is shown in the proverbial phrase, "It is the busiest man who has time to spare." Thus, an elderly lady at leisure can spend the entire day writing a postcard to her niece. An hour will be spent in finding the postcard, another hunting for spectacles, half an hour to search for the address, an hour and a quarter in composition, and 20 minutes in deciding whether or not to take an umbrella when going to the pillar box in the street. The total effort that would occupy a busy man for 3 minutes, all told, may in this fashion leave another person completely exhausted after a day of doubt, anxiety, and toil. So remember, the passages that will be given will not be very long passages in the UPSC NDA examination. But in your examination, board examination or 11th class, the passages will be very long. So let's go to the questions here. What happens when the time to be spent on some work increases? The work is done smoothly, the work is done leisurely, the work consumes all the time, the work needs additional time. So think over this particular question. Now let us take up the second question. Explain the sentence. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. The more work there is to be done, the more the time needed. Whatever time is available for a given amount of work, all of it will be used. If you have more time, you can do more work. If you have some important work to do, you should always have some additional time. Third question. Who is the person likely to take more time to do work? A busy man, a man of leisure, an elderly person, an exhausted person. What is the total time spent by the elderly lady in writing a postcard? 3 minutes, 4 hours and 5 minutes, half an hour, a full day. What does the expression pillar box stand for? A box attached to the pillar, a box in the pillar, box office, a pillar type post box. Now let us apply IEI formula to this passage and let's find out answers using this formula. And what is this formula? Information, elimination, inference formula. So let's try this. Now let us apply this formula for this passage and let's see the first one. What is the question? What happens when the time to be spent on some work increases? Now here use the method of elimination. When you go through the passage, you will understand that here A, that is the work is done smoothly. Read the first sentence. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. The general, now here when you read the first sentence, you'll understand that A should be eliminated. The general recognition of this fact is shown in the proverbial phrase, it is the busiest man who has time to spare. Now here when you read this, thus an elderly lady at leisure can spend the entire day writing a postcard to her niece. What do you understand by this? You understand by this that the person who has got leisure, he will use that leisure all the time for doing that work. So once you understand this, then you will try to eliminate even the fourth one. The work needs additional time. So here, however, the time that is given to you, whatever the time that is given to you, that is enough for you to do the work. That is what you will understand. The work consumes all the time. If you read all that, then you will come to know that the right answer will be the work consumes all the time. Because here, a lady is there who is an elderly lady. She spends entire day just to write a postcard. Actually, this work could have been finished within a short period, maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes it would take. But here she has taken entire day because she has got enough time for that particular day. So therefore, once you read few sentences, you will understand that the first one should be eliminated. The work is done smoothly. Then here the work needs additional time. It doesn't require additional time. It all depends upon the time that is given to you. Within that time, you will try to complete the work. So work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So more time is there, more work you will take to complete. That is what you will be able to understand when you read this passage. Now let us go to the second one. Now here they have asked the explanation of the sentence. Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. Now here you have to have inference. See, at the beginning of the passage, it is very clear that the more time you have, the more it would take to do the work. Now this is very clear from the illustration of the elderly lady. Now here, in this case, think over of all the options. Now here it is very clear, whatever time is available for a given amount of work, all of it will be used. An elderly lady takes whole day to write a letter because she has got all the time as a leisure time. So whatever time is available for a given amount of work, all of it will be used. So this is the answer for that, and this answer you will come to know through the inference. Let's go to the third one now. Who is the person likely to take more time to do work? Now there are four options given here. Now who is likely to take more time? The man who has got lot of time with him, he will be taking more time. Now this also clear from that example of the lady where she is taking entire day to write a letter. So here what does it mean? The more time you have, the more you will need to do the work. So therefore, a man of leisure is a person who is likely to take more time to do work. But in the case of busy man, he will have all the time to do the work. But in the case of a man of leisure, he will definitely take more time to do the work. Okay, but here remember, here is inference, but it's a complex inference. It's not so easy. You have to read the passage once again, and then once you understand the passage completely, once you comprehend the passage completely, you'll be able to find the answer for this. Now let's go to the question number 4. What is the total time spent by the elderly lady in writing a postcard? Now when you read the passage, it is very clear. Now here you can find out its answer. Answer is D. And this answer is based on the information that is provided in the passage. So it's very clear, a full day. So what is the time spent by the elderly lady? That is complete day, entire day. That means full day. So that is the right answer. Now let's go to the question number 5. What does the expression pillar box stand for? Now here you have to think over it. Again, the information is provided there in the passage. And from that, it would be very clear to you that the answer is D. But remember, though the information is provided to you, it is not direct information, but it is implied information. The lady has to go to drop the letter. Where she has to go? She has to go to pillar box. What does it mean? It means pillar type post box where she can drop her letter. So how she's spending the entire day to write a letter, it is very clear there. But remember that whatever is required, that information we have to read. Whatever is not required, that you need not leave. The last sentence, it has got no significance. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.